In the hidden world beneath our feet, countless creatures live out their extraordinary lives. We often overlook these tiny inhabitants, busy with our own large-scale world. Yet some of these small beings capture our imagination in a truly remarkable way. The stag beetle is one such creature. It is a giant among insects, a formidable-looking animal with jaws that resemble the antlers of a stag. This magnificent appearance has fascinated people for centuries. It sparks a sense of wonder, making us pause and look closer at the intricate life teeming in the soil and decaying wood all around us. Why does this particular beetle command such attention and even a high price? The fascination is not a new phenomenon. Ancient cultures saw these beetles as powerful symbols. They were associated with thunder and lightning, perhaps because they often emerge after a summer storm. In folklore, they were sometimes seen as creatures of magic, both feared and respected. Today, this fascination continues, but in different forms. For some, it is the thrill of finding such an impressive insect in their own garden. For others, it is a passion for collecting, a desire to own one of the most spectacular examples of insect life. This deep-seated human interest is the beginning of the story of the stag beetle's value. It is a story of beauty, rarity, and our own relationship with the natural world. This interest has grown into a global community of enthusiasts. There are clubs, online forums, and even competitions dedicated to these beetles. People spend years learning how to care for them, breeding them to achieve the largest sizes or most perfect forms. The beetles are not just insects, they become prized possessions, living jewels that connect their owners to the wild. This intense dedication from a worldwide network of hobbyists and collectors plays a huge part in their story. It transforms a simple beetle from the forest floor into an object of desire, something to be sought after, admired, and, as we shall see, protected with great care and attention. The journey to understand the stag beetle's worth begins right here with our own sense of awe. It is a reminder that the smallest things can hold the greatest value. They show us that the world of insects is not just a collection of creepy crawlies, but a realm of incredible diversity and beauty. The stag beetle, with its noble appearance and secretive life, invites us to explore this hidden kingdom. It challenges us to look down, to appreciate the life in the undergrowth, and to understand the delicate balance that allows such magnificent creatures to exist. Their story is a compelling chapter in the great book of nature, and it is a story worth telling. So what exactly is this remarkable creature? The stag beetle, or Lucanus cervus as it is known to scientists, is one of Europe's largest terrestrial insects. It belongs to a family of over 1,000 species found across the world, all sharing a similar impressive look. The most striking feature, of course, belongs to the male. He possesses enormous mandibles which look very much like a stag's antlers. These are not for eating, however. They are weapons used in dramatic wrestling matches with other males. They fight over territory and the right to mate, locking their antlers and trying to throw their rival off a branch, a truly spectacular display of strength in the miniature world. The female stag beetle looks quite different. She is smaller and lacks the huge jaws of the male. Her mandibles are more modest, but they are incredibly powerful and sharp, perfectly designed for a different purpose. She uses them to chew into decaying wood, creating a safe place to lay her precious eggs. The life of a stag beetle is a slow and patient one. After hatching, the larva, a large creamy white grub, will spend several years hidden from view. It lives underground, feeding on the soft, rotting wood of old trees and stumps. This long, hidden stage of its life is crucial, and it depends entirely on the right kind of environment being available. Their home is the ancient woodland, the old park, or even a quiet suburban garden with plenty of old trees. They are creatures of decay, playing a vital role in the forest ecosystem. The larvae are nature's recyclers, breaking down dead wood and returning its nutrients to the soil. This process is essential for the health of the forest, helping new life to grow. Without creatures like the stag beetle, the cycle of life and death in our woodlands would be incomplete. They need a continuous supply of dead and decaying wood, particularly from broad-leaved trees like oak. This specific habitat requirement is one of the key reasons they are becoming increasingly rare. Once the larva is fully grown, it builds a cocoon in the soil and transforms into an adult beetle. This process, known as pupation, is a magical one. After a few months, the adult beetle emerges, but it will often wait until the following summer to venture out into the world. The adult's life is short and focused, lasting only a few weeks. During this time, its main purpose is to find a mate and reproduce, ensuring the next generation of these magnificent beetles. They are most active on warm, humid evenings in early summer, when you might be lucky enough to see a male flying, a truly unforgettable sight as this heavyweight of the insect world takes to the air. The high cost of some stag beetles is a direct result of simple economics, supply and demand. On one side, the supply is dwindling. As we have seen, stag beetles rely on a very specific habitat of old, decaying wood. Sadly, these habitats are disappearing. Modern forestry practices often involve clearing away dead trees and stumps, tidying up the very places these beetles need to survive their long larval stage. Urban expansion and the loss of old gardens also remove their homes. This habitat loss means that in many parts of the world, stag beetles are now a protected species. Their rarity makes them more valuable, not just in a monetary sense, but in an ecological one too. On the other side, the demand from collectors is incredibly high, particularly in countries like Japan. Here, insect collecting and keeping is a very popular hobby. Some collectors are willing to pay astonishing sums for a perfect specimen, especially a large male with impressive mandibles. The size of the beetle is everything. A particularly large individual can become a legend in the collecting community, fetching prices that can run into thousands of pounds. This intense demand creates a market where rarity and perfection command a premium. It is a world where a beetle is not just a beetle, but a status symbol and a collector's prized trophy. It is important to distinguish between different parts of this market. In many countries, collecting stag beetles from the wild is illegal due to their protected status. The market for high-value beetles is therefore often supplied by captive breeders. These breeders have mastered the difficult art of raising stag beetles, carefully controlling their environment to produce large and healthy adults. This process requires a great deal of knowledge, time and resources, which adds to the final cost of the beetle. Breeding programs can also play a positive role, helping to maintain populations, and, in some cases, reintroduce beetles into areas where they have disappeared. The ecological value of the stag beetle also contributes to its cost to us all. As we lose these beetles, we lose an important part of our woodland ecosystem. They are what we call a keystone species, meaning their role in breaking down dead wood supports a whole host of other organisms, from fungi to other insects. Their decline is a warning sign that our natural environments are in trouble. So while a collector might pay a high price for a single beetle, the true cost of their disappearance is far greater. It is a cost to the health of our forests and a loss of the natural heritage that we should all be working to protect for future generations. There are many wonderful and surprising facts about these beetles that make them even more fascinating. For instance, despite their fearsome appearance, the male stag beetle's large mandibles are relatively weak. They are used for display and wrestling, not for biting. The smaller, more powerful jaws of the female can actually deliver a more painful nip if she feels threatened. Another interesting fact is that adult stag beetles do not eat solid food. Instead, they use their feathery tongues to lap up sweet liquids like tree sap and the juice from rotting fruit. They are gentle giants, focused solely on the task of finding a mate during their brief adult lives. The life cycle of the stag beetle is one of nature's marvels of patience. A larva can spend up to 7 years developing underground. Imagine that, 7 years spent slowly growing, hidden from the world, before emerging as a magnificent adult for just a few short weeks. During this time, the larva grows to be much larger than the adult beetle it will become. It is this long, vulnerable larval stage that makes the species so susceptible to habitat loss. If the log it is living in is removed or destroyed, its long journey to adulthood is cut tragically short, a silent loss that goes unnoticed in the forest. So what can we do to help these guardians of the forest floor? The answer is surprisingly simple and starts in our own back gardens. We can become guardians ourselves. One of the best things you can do is to create a log pile. By partially burying some old logs or pieces of wood in a quiet corner of your garden, you can create the perfect habitat for female stag beetles to lay their eggs. This small act provides a safe house for the next generation. Avoiding the use of pesticides and leaving tree stumps in the ground also helps create a beetle-friendly environment. These simple actions can make a real difference to their survival. Ultimately, protecting stag beetles is about more than just saving one species of insect. It is about preserving the health and richness of our natural world. They are an indicator of a healthy environment, a sign that the ancient cycle of life, death, and decay is still turning. When we see a stag beetle, we are looking at a creature that connects us to the old wild woods. Its presence tells us that we are still doing something right. By ensuring their survival, we are not just protecting a beetle, we are protecting the whole intricate web of life of which they and we are a vital part.